When you're planning marketing journeys, you're always looking to maximize engagement, but also save time. Using Dynamics Customer Insights journeys, you can eliminate guesswork by testing different approaches that reduce risk and boost performance without excessive admin effort. Let's explore how these built-in testing capabilities can be easily applied in real-time journeys using examples for Pet Pals, a fictitious pet care retailer. In this first example, Pet Pals is promoting a new dog toy in an email message, and they want to test which call to action button drives more click-throughs. This is a simple A/B test where audiences are randomly selected to go down two different branches, where version A uses an orange button with sharp corners, and version B uses a blue button with rounded corners and a solid border. Same text, same placement, just different visual styling. The marketing team believes the softer, rounded styling of the blue button may lead to higher click-through rates, but they want to run a test that confirms this. Here in the Journey Designer, we've added the A/B test element and selected our two email variations. In the configuration panel, you can see that the experiment distribution is set to 50-50, but this is adjustable, so you could test with a 20-80 split if you're less confident in your variant. For the winning metric, we've selected click-through rate, since we're specifically testing which button drives more engagement. You could also choose open rate or base success on a journey goal. The key is to align your winning metric with what you're testing. One thing to note, if you're running a segment-based journey, you can also set a control group. This is an audience you want to hold back from the A/B test, which allows you to reserve a variable segment and only send this to the segment once the best performing variant is known. We have decided on a 20% sample split evenly between the two emails. This is enough because our segment includes more than 10,000 customer records, which creates a large enough sample for testing. This test ends when real-time journeys decides a winner, automatically based on statistical significance. But we could choose the option to end it ourselves by a fixed date. If we don't choose a control group, the test runs in real time across our entire audience. Results come faster because the control group bottleneck is removed, allowing all participants to contribute directly to measuring the performance of the test variants. The main risk is that without a control group, you might not have enough time to determine a clear winner before everyone sees a version, because all customers are being tested at once. For trigger-based journeys, A/B testing works slightly differently. 100% of your audience enters the experiment from the beginning. Because the total audience isn't predetermined, people enter as they complete the trigger and you can't reserve a portion for the winner. However, you can still control how the audience is split between versions. Our example tests a button style, but you could compare different copy, images, and other design changes. However, we recommend avoiding overcomplicating this and testing too many different elements at once, as you won't be able to clearly identify which change was decisive in achieving the best engagement. Our second test focuses on email subject lines for a new product launch. The rationale is that curiosity-driven subject lines may outperform urgency-based ones for this audience. In this scenario, customers are primarily motivated by finding products their pets will love, not by scarcity or time pressure. Email A aims to create a sense of urgency around the product. Email B is more curiosity-driven, prompting recipients to open the email to learn more. In the journey, We've configured this test with open rate as our winning metric, since we're specifically testing which subject line drives more people to read the email. This is where having enough audience members becomes important. Ideally, we want at least 1,000 people in the segment to get statistically meaningful results. With smaller audiences, there is a risk that distribution becomes uneven and the results less reliable. Our third test takes a different approach. Instead of us deciding between two options, we're letting AI determine which channel performs better, email or SMS. AI uses historical contact record data to determine which channel is more effective. We're sending a confirmation message to customers who've signed up for an appointment. Some customers may be more responsive to email, while others prefer SMS. In the Journey Designer, we've added the AI-powered channel optimisation element. The system will intelligently route each contact to the channel it predicts will be most effective for them. We've configured a goal in our journey. In this case, we've selected driver purchase, which is met when the customer confirms their appointment. This is important because AI uses this goal to learn which channel is more likely to achieve the desired outcome. Over time, as more contacts move through the journey, the AI refines its predictions and becomes more accurate at channel selection. It's important to note the journey will respect your audience's contact preferences stored in the compliance center. For example, if someone has opted out of SMS messages, they won't receive a text message. Following the launch of the journey, we'll be able to see how the AI performed supported by the selected journey goal. We can also see what portion of the audience was filtered using AI. And finally, we are provided insight into how customers engaged with the channel they were sent, including unique clicks and opens divided by total messages sent. In our next journey, we want to see how different audience segments respond to the same content. Pet Pals is launching a new subscription box of pet treats, and its marketing team wants to understand whether newer customers engage differently from established ones. We're using the same email for both groups. The only difference is the audience. In the Journey Designer, we've used the attribute branch element to split the audience based on a customer age. People who've been customers for more than 6 months go into one branch, while newer customers go into the other. When we publish our journey, we can analyze the performance of both branches. That includes looking at open and click-through rates to see if there's a meaningful difference in engagement between the two. This isn't technically recognized as a test by real-time journeys, but it's an effective way to explore how different audiences behave. Before running a test like this, make sure your attributes are properly configured in real-time journeys. For this specific example, if the customer age data isn't accurate or isn't populated correctly, our segments won't split as intended and results will be compromised. There's one more approach worth exploring. Though, like the attribute field option, it's not officially defined by Dynamics as a test. This involves a random audience split between two or more tiles in the Journey Designer. This is useful when you want to test multiple options simultaneously rather than being restricted to just two in the classic A/B test we saw earlier. In this scenario, Pet Pals wants to find the optimal discount level for its loyalty program members. Rather than guessing or testing discounts one pair at a time, they're testing 4 different offers at once. The audience is split into 4 equal groups of 25% each. Group 1 receives 10% off their next purchase. Group 2 receives 15% off. Group 3 receives 20% off, or Group 4 receives free shipping with no percentage discount. This allows us to understand the sweet spot, where the discount is attractive enough to drive conversions without unnecessarily eroding profit margins. Testing multiple tiers simultaneously like this helps identify that optimal point faster than running sequential A/B tests. However, the limitation of this approach is that no winner is selected during the journey, and the performance needs to be analysed manually. So, how do we examine the results of our tests? Well, the reporting of the journey test result varies depending on which option you choose. Selecting the A/B test tile opens a side panel that shows you the current status of your experiment. The winning branch will be highlighted in the panel and shows the key metric data, as well as the distribution of customer records. You can also view the test configuration and how much the winning test won by, which provides insights to help you with future communications. You can also navigate to the real-time journey analytics dashboard to see a breakdown of journeys that have configured A/B tests. If you're utilizing field attributes or split percentage tiles, there's no automatic winner to find, but you can observe key metrics of each branch to better understand your audience and guide future content decisions. Across all these tests, there are a few principles worth keeping in mind. Think carefully about what you're testing and why. Every test should be based on an idea you want to validate, not just curiosity about which version might work better. Before launching, check that your segments are populated, your attributes are accurate, and your winning metrics align with your campaign objectives. In addition, small configuration errors can invalidate your entire test. Remember, testing is iterative. Each test generates insights that can help you plan your next journey to build knowledge about what resonates with your customers, rather than making up assumptions. For good housekeeping, we suggest that you agree upon clear and consistent naming conventions. This makes identifying and understanding each record in your journey that much easier and reduces the risk of misselection. Lastly, don't complicate your tests. We recommend testing only one variable at a time. For example, if you change both the subject line and the email design, how will you know which was the decisive factor in a winning result? Testing in customer insights gives you clarity on what works with each audience. It helps you refine your approach, increase engagement through smarter messaging, and when applied strategically, it could drive measurable revenue growth. If you'd like to explore how customer insights can work for your organization, or if you need guidance on implementing testing strategies and other features in Dynamics 365, ServerSys can help. Get in touch with us today to discover how we can help you get the most from Dynamics.